Welcome to Ask a Lawyer with attorney Joey Franks at the Franks Law Firm in Ridgeland, Mississippi. Each week, Joey answers your questions about the law and how it affects you.
What are the legal limits for a DUI in Mississippi?
That's actually a kind of a complex question, because for your average person just going to and from work with a normal driver's license in Mississippi, the blood alcohol content's what we're looking at here, the BAC. In Mississippi, for your normal person, it'd be a 0.08. However, if you are a commercial truck driver, then that number falls to a 0.04 blood alcohol content. And Mississippi also has a zero tolerance policy for minors, which for them takes it down to 0.02, and that's anybody under the age of 21. 0.02 blood alcohol content is the legal limit for a DUI for them.
Can the test be wrong?
Absolutely. These machines are just that. They're machines. They're prone to breaking, they are prone to failure, and they're operated by humans, so human error kicks in quite often. Now, the big intoxilizers, they're supposed to be self-calibrating, but even then, I've seen them have issues where they couldn't calibrate, and because they couldn't calibrate, they couldn't prove that somebody was intoxicated at that point. Now, the first test an individual will be given when they're pulled over is called a portable breath test. It's just a little machine that rides around in the back of the officer's car, bounces around all day. Those aren't even admissible into evidence, so we're not even looking at those. We are looking at what the intoxilizer says for the purposes of proving a DUI in Mississippi.
If I tell an officer I've only had a few beers, will this help?
That's the worst thing an individual can do, in my opinion. You have the Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution that grants you the right to remain silent. I highly recommend clients use that right. And I know they catch a little bit of grief sometimes from the officer. All the same, you have the right to remain silent. Exercise it by admitting that you've had drinks. You've just given the officer probable cause to proceed further. So do not admit to drinking, not even one, not even two, not a couple, not a few. If the officer asks if you've been drinking, exercise your right to remain silent. It's my advice every time.
Can I drink any amount of alcohol and still drive?
Again, it goes back to the age and the license issue that we talked about in the first question. Your average Joe who drives a normal vehicle with a normal driver's license, 0.08 is the blood alcohol content that we're looking for there. And yes, they can technically have a beer. It is not illegal to have a beer and then go drive a vehicle. What is illegal is to have a beer and be impaired and operate an automobile, or to have an amount of alcohol that will take you over the legal limit. 0.08 for most people might be upwards of 2 drinks, depending on their weight and size and things like that. But when we go look at the commercial truck driver with a 0.04 limit, you're looking at one drink being the absolute most that they can reasonably expect to be able to tolerate, and even then I think they're probably pushing it. And certainly a minor, one drink would put them over the 0.02, and that's somebody under the age of 21. Think of your college kids at Ole Miss, State, at Southern, things like that. One drink would most likely put them over, and it would be illegal for them.
And they're not supposed to be drinking anyhow, so if they have a drink and drive, they're in trouble, huh?
That's right. And drinking and driving, it just doesn't make sense in this modern time to a degree, in the sense that police do have roadblocks. They do have portable breath tests. They do have more accurate machines. They will give field sobriety tests. And at the very least, the smell of alcohol on an individual will give them probable cause to look further. And, if you've been around anyone that's drinking, even just a drink or two, you possibly can smell alcohol on them if you're within a foot or two of them. And think how close an officer is when they ask you to roll down your window when they pulled you over. So that's a risk that people run, and it's a big risk sometimes. But strictly speaking, to have a drink and drive in of itself is not illegal.
Thanks for listening to Ask a Lawyer with attorney Joey Franks at the Franks Law Firm in Ridgeland, Mississippi. Call attorney Franks for a free consultation at 601-773-7777. His website is thefrankslawfirm.com.